Every morning the world resets, the clocks start again, the noise hasn't yet begun, and in that sliver of silence, before the alarms, before the texts, before the world demands your attention, you are given something most people waste, a moment of unmatched power. That moment is not just the start of another day, it's a spiritual threshold, a gate, and how you cross that gate determines the tone, the rhythm, and the direction of everything that follows. But too many wake up only to fall right back into autopilot, repeating yesterday's habits, yesterday's emotions, and yesterday's limitations. But here's the truth no one talks about. You are most powerful the moment you wake up. In those first few seconds, you haven't yet absorbed the pressure of the world. Your mind hasn't yet been shaped by social media, news, or other people's opinions. Your thoughts are untouched, raw, open. And that makes them incredibly moldable. What you plant in those moments will grow roots that last all day. But the tragedy, most people give that sacred moment away. They wake up and immediately check their phone. Their eyes haven't even adjusted to the light, and they're already comparing their life to someone else's. They're already reacting, already consuming, already distracted, and just like that, their power is gone. The day now belongs to outside forces. You weren't designed to wake up that way. You were meant to rise, intentionally. Before you do anything, you must realize this is not just another day. This is not a repetition of yesterday. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event. This exact morning will never come again. The world may look the same, the sky may not change, but you have the power to change everything. There is a voice inside you that whispers at the edge of sleep, a voice that knows what you're capable of, a voice that's been silenced by noise, ignored by fear, drowned by comfort. But in that first waking moment, when the noise hasn't taken over yet, you can still hear it. And if you listen, really listen, it will guide you, not to ease, not to mediocrity, but to purpose. The first thing you feel in the morning, whether it's dread, peace, anxiety, or fire, sets a chemical tone. It tells your nervous system what kind of day you're about to live. That means the emotion you allow in that window will echo through the next 24 hours. You can choose stress, or you can choose strength. You can choose to be a victim of the day or its architect. So ask yourself, who are you the moment you wake up? What is your first thought? What belief do you rise with? Because that belief is not small. It is not harmless. It becomes your filter. If your first thought is, I'm tired, then tired is what you carry. If your first thought is, I'm not ready, then doubt is your companion. But if you choose, deliberately, to rise with a thought like, I am here for more, or this day is mine, then you begin with ownership, you begin with power, and no one can take that from you. Not traffic, not failure, not pressure, not even fear. You don't need a complex routine. You don't need 10 apps or an hour of journaling. You just need awareness, the awareness to pause, to breathe, to decide that you will not meet this day the same way you met yesterday. You are not a copy of your past. You are the author of your present. And each sunrise gives you the pen again. Let the world sleepwalk if it must. Let others drift into their day like passengers, but not you. You're not a passenger. You are the captain. The first 5 minutes of your morning are the steering wheel. Grip it, turn it, choose the direction before the world chooses it for you, because the truth is simple. If you win the morning, you win the day. But more importantly, if you own that first moment, if you rise with purpose, if you reject distraction, if you breathe with presence, you win yourself. And that victory, more than anything, changes your life. So when the next morning comes, don't just wake up. Rise, step into your power, own your moment, because nothing is more dangerous to average than a person who wakes up on fire. The first breath of your day isn't just biology, it's a message, a divine signal, a whisper from life itself saying, you made it. Despite everything that happened yesterday, despite the chaos, the noise, the failures, the doubt, you are still here. Still breathing, still chosen. That breath is your proof. But most people don't notice it. They rush past it. They wake up already late, already behind, already overwhelmed. They don't realize the magnitude of what they're skipping. Because that first breath, It's not just air, it's presence. It's the only thing anchoring you to the now before the weight of the day lands on your shoulders. Owning that breath means taking full responsibility for your existence in that moment. It means pausing, not to panic, not to plan, but to just be, to acknowledge that before the calendar fills, before the emails flood, before the world invades, you have yourself. You are not your to-do list. You are not your inbox. You are not your schedule. You are breath. You are life in motion. You are awareness in a body designed to overcome, to grow, to lead. So when your eyes open, don't rush, don't reach. Just stay, just breathe, close your eyes again. Not in sleep, but in stillness. Feel the inhale. Let it fill every inch of your lungs. Don't force it. Invite it. Let it remind you that you are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You're breathing. That alone makes you powerful. That breath isn't just oxygen. It's alignment. With one breath, you can interrupt the pattern of stress. With one breath, you can move from panic to presence. With one breath, you can reset the nervous system, slow the heart, sharpen the mind, but you have to own it, not rush it, not ignore it, own it. Place your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat sync with your breath. That's your internal compass. It doesn't lie. It doesn't care about your follower count, your salary, or your mistakes. It only says, you are here. That is your grounding. That is your power. And if you start your day rooted in that reality, nothing external can shake you. You'll notice something strange when you breathe like this. The thoughts begin to quiet, the mind slows down, the need to perform softens. In its place, you begin to feel clarity. You begin to remember that you don't have to hustle for worthiness. You don't have to earn your value. You were born with it, and every breath is a reminder of that truth. When you own your first breath, you stop handing your peace to the chaos around you. You stop needing the world to be calm in order for you to be calm. You become the calm. You become the one who carries the storm's eye inside them. This is not about meditation. This is not about routines. This is about a mindset, a way of living. It's about being awake before you open your eyes. It's about recognizing that you don't wake up into your life. You create your life, and it begins with something as small, as overlooked, as sacred, as a breath. That breath is your power. It's your presence. It's your pause, because before you pick up your phone, before you dive into duty, before you give the world your energy, you must first return to yourself, to your center. That breath, taken with intention, is not just preparation. It's armor, it's alignment. It's the difference between living by design or by default. And make no mistake, the world will try to pull you away from this. It will try to make you forget. It will try to convince you that you don't have time, that you need to jump up, run, respond, but you don't need to answer the world first thing in the morning. You need to answer yourself, and you do that by claiming that breath. So tomorrow, when your eyes open, don't let the day steal you. Take your breath, feel it fully, let it anchor you in power, in truth, in presence. Let that be your beginning, let that be your reset. Own your first breath, and the rest of your day will follow your lead. The moment you wake, your mind is listening, before it's hijacked by notifications, before it's dragged by obligations, before your thoughts are shaped by the outside world. Your mind is open, absorbing, malleable. In that window of raw stillness, what you allow to enter will silently become your emotional blueprint for the day. You either command your mind, or it will be commanded for you. Your mind doesn't ask what's true in those moments. It simply absorbs what is present, and if the first thing you offer it is fear, doubt, distraction, or comparison, that's what it builds from. That becomes the foundation. Every feeling, every action, every decision will quietly begin to reflect the energy of that initial thought. But if you rise and choose your thoughts deliberately and powerfully, you send a message to yourself. I lead this day. This day does not lead me. This is not about positive thinking for the sake of optimism. This is about programming. The mind runs on loops, on repetition, on signals. And you are either the programmer or the passive recipient of someone else's code. You have the power to write your own script each morning, but only if you begin consciously. Commanding your mind starts with refusing to outsource your first thought. That means don't start the day by scrolling. Don't surrender your consciousness to other people's opinions, their lives, their curated illusions. You were not born to wake up and watch someone else live. You were born to rise in awareness, not in reaction. So as soon as you're awake, don't rush, don't speak yet, don't touch your phone. Let your first voice be your own. Let it be firm, let it be rooted. Tell your mind what to believe before the world tells it what to fear. Say, today I am focused, today I am capable, today I will not be controlled by my feelings, I will direct them. Repeat it even if it feels awkward, especially if it feels awkward, because discomfort is the birthplace of power. Your mind will resist at first. It's been conditioned to consume, to react, to float in default. But repetition reprograms. What you say with certainty enough times becomes belief, and belief drives behavior. Don't wait until you feel confident. Create confidence with your words, and don't wait for external motivation to spark your drive. You are the spark. You are the flame. The mind will follow whatever fire you light in those first few moments. If it senses clarity, it will organize itself around it. If it senses hesitation, it will scatter. Commanding your mind also means being ruthless with your mental diet. Be aware of what you let in. Every thought you permit is either a seed or a weed. A thought of strength, that's a seed, it grows discipline. It blooms resilience. A thought of shame or self-pity, that's a weed. It chokes your momentum in silence, and it all begins in the morning. So speak with purpose, think with intent. Even if your external life feels chaotic, your internal life doesn't have to mirror it. You can be the calm inside the storm. You can be the center that doesn't sway, but only if you decide, this mind belongs to me. The world will try to rent space in your head for free. Negativity, insecurity, distraction, they all show up uninvited. But when you command your mind, you become the gatekeeper. You choose what enters, you choose what stays. You decide the mental climate in which your soul will operate. Think about that power, really think about it. The world may be unpredictable, but your first thought doesn't have to be. Your external life may be out of your control, but your internal narrative is yours completely. And when you master the beginning, you anchor the rest. So tomorrow morning, before the world speaks, you speak. Speak clarity, speak purpose, speak direction. Don't wait to feel motivated. Create motivation through intentional thought. Don't wait to feel in control. Create control through deliberate focus. The voice inside your head is either your enemy or your ally. It either drains you or builds you. You get to decide which one wakes up with you. Command your mind, and the rest of your life will start to obey. Your body is not just a machine, it's a messenger. It speaks in signals, energy, posture, breath, and in the morning, before your mind has fully awakened, your body is already listening. It listens to the stillness. It listens to the choices you make in the first 10 minutes. It listens to whether you rise in motion or retreat in resistance. When you move your body with intention first thing in the morning, you're not just waking up muscles. You're waking up momentum. This is not about doing a workout. This is about declaring through movement, I am not stagnant, I am not stuck. I am not in yesterday, I am in control, and I am moving forward, because motion isn't just physical. It's emotional. When the body moves, the mind follows. When the heart rate rises, the brain sharpens. When you stretch, when you breathe deeply, when you walk, when you push, even slightly, you're sending a message to every cell in your being. Today, I show up. Today, I lead. The body is a vessel of memory. If you stay in stillness, it often holds on to heaviness. It carries the weight of anxiety, the fog of overthinking, the echoes of yesterday's doubt. But when you move, even for a few minutes, you release that tension. You don't have to know what the day holds to prepare for it. You just have to move like someone who is ready for anything. So rise and move, not in chaos, not in a rush, with intention. Every step, every breath, every stretch, make it deliberate. Make it count. This is not performance. This is a ritual, a way of communicating with your inner self. I'm not here to hide. I'm here to rise. Even the simplest movement holds power. Step out of bed and raise your arms toward the sky. Feel your spine lengthen, breathe deeper, feel the tension release from your neck, your shoulders, your back. This is not fluff, it's alignment. This is not a routine, it's a statement. The way you carry yourself becomes the way you think about yourself. If you rise with slouched shoulders, slow steps, and heavy energy, the mind will assume defeat. But if you rise tall with purpose in your posture and breath in your chest, the mind begins to believe, I am capable. I am awake, I am alive, and that belief, it spills into everything. Move like a warrior preparing for the day's battles. Move like a builder laying the first brick of a future only you can see. Move like your dreams depend on your energy, because they do. Don't tell yourself you're tired. Don't tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Move now. Move when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it, because the resistance you feel is the test. And your movement is your answer. You don't need a gym, you don't need equipment. You need intention, you need presence. Walk outside, do push-ups in your room, stretch on the floor, dance to silence. Breathe through your nose into your lungs, into your center. Let the movement wake something ancient in you. The part of you that remembers you were built to move, to hunt, to lead, to rise. This body is not your enemy. It is not an obstacle. It is your ally, but like any ally, it needs to be spoken to. It needs to be activated. It needs to be led. Your energy doesn't come from coffee. It comes from circulation, from oxygen, from movement, from you choosing to begin instead of delay. And when you begin your day by moving your body, you're not chasing motivation. You're creating it. You're not hoping for a good day. You're becoming the person who creates one. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up. Stand with strength. Move with intention. Step into the day like it belongs to you, because it does, and let your body be the first to know we're not shrinking back today. We're stepping forward. You feed your body because you know it needs energy. You hydrate because you know you'll need clarity. But every single day there's something else that's starving, and most people don't even notice. The soul, the unseen center, the place that holds your passion, your peace, your purpose. The part of you that doesn't show up in mirrors or metrics, but quietly determines the quality of everything you experience. If your soul is empty, no achievement will ever feel like enough. If your soul is heavy, no amount of productivity will silence the weight. If your soul is neglected, even the most successful life will feel hollow. That's why every morning before the world demands from you, you must feed what the world cannot give back. You must fuel your soul. This is not about religion. This is not about rules. This is about presence. About truth, about coming home to yourself before anyone else has a chance to tell you who you are. You were not created to just survive your schedule. You were not made to just check boxes. You were born to feel, to create, to love, to grow, to connect to something greater than tasks and titles. But that connection doesn't come by accident, it's created on purpose. So ask yourself, what lifts my spirit? What reminds me of who I am beneath the noise? What recharges me at the level of the heart, not just the mind? It could be silence, it could be prayer, it could be journaling, reading sacred words, or simply sitting still with gratitude. It could be stepping outside barefoot, breathing the morning air and saying, thank you, I'm still here. Whatever it is, make it non-negotiable. Make it yours. You brush your teeth without skipping a day. You shower without thinking twice. Yet the soul, the most vital part of you, is often ignored, pushed aside, postponed, and then we wonder why we feel disconnected, reactive, overwhelmed. We wonder why even our best days feel incomplete. You don't need an hour, you need intention. Even 1 minute of soul connection can realign your entire day. When you sit in stillness and feel your life, not judge it, not fix it, not compare it, but simply feel it, you begin to remember what matters. You remember that you are not what you do. You are not how others see you. You are something deeper, something immovable, and from that place you lead differently. You speak differently. You walk through the world not chasing worth, but carrying it. Fueling your soul means protecting your peace. It means being mindful of what you consume, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, who you listen to, what you watch, what you speak. All of it is soul fuel or soul poison. Choose carefully. Every day you are either strengthening your spirit or starving it. There is no neutral, so feed yourself truth, feed yourself hope, feed yourself gratitude, feed yourself meaning. You don't have to feel inspired to begin. Begin, and inspiration will rise to meet you, and when you've taken that time, even just a few minutes, to anchor yourself, to feel your breath, to touch something higher than your own ambition, you'll walk into your day different. More grounded, more clear, more alive, because when your soul is fed, your mind calms, your emotions settle, your energy becomes clean, not chaotic, and in that state, you don't just move through the day, you lead it. So tomorrow, before the noise, before the rush, before the phone go within, sit in the stillness, fuel your soul, because everything that flows from you begins there. If you don't know why you're waking up, life will decide for you. Every morning the world hands you a script, expectations, obligations, noise. You're told where to go, what to do, how to think, and who to become. If you don't interrupt that script with something intentional, something real, then you begin to drift. And drifting is dangerous because it feels like movement, but it leads you nowhere that matters. Your why is the anchor, the compass, the fire. It's what keeps you grounded when things feel uncertain. It's what pushes you forward when motivation runs dry. It's what pulls you back to center when life gets loud, and if you don't choose your why, someone else will. So every morning, before you take one step forward, ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Why do I rise? Why do I fight? Why do I chase, build, struggle, and endure? That question may feel too big for a tired mind. But that's exactly why it must be asked when the day is still honest, still quiet, still yours. Your why doesn't have to be loud, it doesn't have to be world changing, it just has to be true. It might be your family, your future, your faith, your healing, your purpose. It might be proving to yourself that you're no longer who you were. It might be honoring the version of you that didn't give up. Whatever it is, name it, write it, speak it, declare it. Let it echo in your mind before the world invades, because when you know your why, resistance loses its power. You don't argue with the alarm clock. You don't wrestle with discipline. You don't negotiate with excuses. Why? Because you've already decided, you've already defined the reason. That reason becomes your fuel. And no one can take from you what they didn't give you. The most dangerous people in the world are not the loudest. They're the ones who move with quiet, relentless conviction. They know what they're fighting for. They know who they're becoming, and they carry that awareness like armor into every battle. That can be you. You don't need more motivation. You need more meaning, because motivation fades. Discipline gets tired. But meaning, real meaning, lives deeper. It outlasts pressure. It outlasts doubt. It cuts through failure and keeps going. A defined why, it makes discomfort worth it. It transforms struggle into sacrifice, and sacrifice into growth. If you've been drifting, if your mornings feel directionless, it's not because you're lazy. It's because your why has gone silent. So bring it back. Give it volume. Give it breath. Don't let your life become a series of tasks with no pulse underneath. You are not a machine. You are a force of intention, a vessel of purpose, and that purpose is not waiting to be discovered. It's waiting to be claimed, so claim it. Don't just get up, rise for something. Don't just survive, build towards something. Don't just exist, become someone who remembers exactly what this life is for, because when the days get long, when the results don't come fast, when the progress feels invisible, your why is what will whisper, keep going. And that whisper will be louder than any fear. Define your why, speak it like a vow, carry it like a sword, let it shape every step that follows. The world begins before you do. It wakes loud, it wakes crowded. It wakes pulling you in 1,000 directions before you even know who you are that day. Notifications, opinions, expectations, they all arrive early, and if you're not vigilant, you'll mistake their urgency for your identity. That's why you must eliminate the noise, not just turn it down, cut it off, not just postpone it, Protect yourself from it. Every morning your mind opens like fertile soil. Whatever gets planted first will grow all day. So if the first thing you absorb is comparison, fear, drama, distraction, you're not just reacting. You're being rewired. You think you're just checking your feed, but what you're really doing is offering your stillness to chaos. You think it's harmless, but you're trading presence for panic, focus for fragmentation, truth for noise, and noise doesn't always shout. It whispers that you're behind, that you're not enough, that someone else is more worthy, more capable, more ahead. It distracts you from your inner clarity and convinces you to chase validation that leaves you emptier each time. And in that fog, you forget your path. You forget your pace. You forget your purpose. You forget your power. Eliminating the noise is not about isolation. It's about elevation. It's about choosing what deserves access to your mental space. It's about recognizing that silence is not emptiness. It's alignment. It's strength. So in the morning, before the noise finds you, protect your peace. Don't just silence your phone. Silence your urge to please. Silence your addiction to approval. Silence the compulsive need to be connected at all times, because true connection to your purpose, to your values, to your path, only happens when you step away from the noise. You don't owe the world your attention before you've owned your awareness. Say it again. You don't owe the world your attention before you've owned your awareness. Start your day in sovereignty, not slavery. Own your time, own your thoughts, own your emotional bandwidth, and guard it like it matters, because it does. Every distraction has a cost. Every interruption robs you of energy. You may not feel it instantly, but over time the fatigue sets in, not just physically, but spiritually. And you begin to lose sight of what actually matters. But when you eliminate the noise, even for a short window, you begin to hear yourself again. You hear your convictions rise. You hear your values speak. You hear the faint echo of your own voice reminding you, this is who I am, this is what I'm building, this is where I'm going. That voice, that quiet certainty, is your compass, but you'll only find it in stillness. And stillness doesn't happen by accident. It happens by choice, by discipline, by creating a boundary between you and the world, long enough for you to lead yourself. Noise isn't just sound, it's clutter. It's confusion, it's constant input with no direction, and you were not created to be constantly inputting. You were created to create, to act, to move, to decide, to build, and that requires space, focus, intention. So eliminate the noise, shut the door, turn off the feed. Let go of the urge to check everything before you've even checked in with yourself. You'll be amazed at how loud your inner clarity becomes when the external chaos is silenced. You'll be stunned at how much more you can accomplish, feel, and understand when you stop handing your attention to the meaningless. Every great change begins in quiet. Every breakthrough is born in moments of solitude. Every leader, every visionary, every grounded human being knows the power of pulling away from the noise long enough to hear their soul speak. So make that your ritual, not once in a while, every morning. Because when you eliminate the noise, you do more than clear your mind. You reclaim your power. Before anything exists in reality, it must exist in the mind. Every great structure began as a blueprint. Every masterpiece began as a vision. Every breakthrough, every revolution, every transformation started in silence within someone bold enough to see it before it was real. That someone can be you, but only if you choose it. Only if you stop living by reaction and start creating with intention. That begins with one habit every morning. Visualize your day with clarity, not vague hope, not wishful thinking, not passive daydreaming. Clarity. Close your eyes, still your thoughts, and see it. See yourself walking into your day with certainty in your steps. See yourself answering challenges with composure. See yourself speaking with power, moving with purpose, finishing what you start. Visualize the person you want to become, and then walk like it's already begun. Clarity is not luxury, it's necessity. If you don't define the vision, distractions will define it for you. If you don't take control of your focus, the world will fracture it. And fractured focus is the enemy of progress, so see the outcome, not just what you want to do, but who you want to be while doing it. See yourself calm in the storm, focused amid the chaos, disciplined even when it hurts, strong even when no one sees, resilient when things don't go to plan, victorious not just because you win, but because you keep showing up. Your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between imagination and reality. It responds to belief. And belief begins with vision. When you visualize success with vivid detail, your nervous system starts aligning to that picture. Your habits adjust. Your standards rise. Your body moves as if it knows where it's going. That's not magic. That's alignment. You've done it before. Unknowingly, you've pictured the worst and felt anxiety. You've imagined failure and felt paralysis. But you can reverse that pattern. You can train your mind to picture something greater and feel the drive to pursue it. That's why clarity is power. Don't just say, I want a good day. Define it, visualize it. What does it look like to lead with discipline today? What does it feel like to speak with courage today? How will you act, react, move, serve, give, grow today? See it first, then build it, and don't stop at seeing the actions. Feel them. Feel the victory of finishing what you start. Feel the peace of knowing you stayed in integrity. Feel the quiet strength of a mind that no longer gets tossed by every wave of doubt. Visualization is more than positive thinking. It's inner training. It's mental reps. It's the rehearsal that prepares you to walk through life's pressure with poise, because life will test you. Your vision will be challenged. That's guaranteed. But when you've already seen yourself overcome it, in your mind, your body will rise to meet the moment. Don't confuse vision with fantasy. This isn't about pretending everything will be perfect. This is about preparing your spirit to stay the course, no matter what the world throws at you. And the clearer your vision, the sharper your aim. Every morning, set that aim, carve it into your mind. Not once, every day, until it becomes instinct, until you no longer move from habit, but from intention. This is how leaders think. This is how warriors rise. This is how change begins, from the inside out. So before the distractions hit, before the opinions flood in, before your past tries to talk you out of progress, visualize, breathe, see the future and step into it, because clarity is not what happens once you succeed. Clarity is what creates success. Your voice is the first voice you hear, and what you say to yourself becomes the script your life starts to follow. Each morning, long before the world speaks, your internal dialogue has already begun writing the story of your day. It can be a story of power or of defeat. It can be a story of confidence or of fear, but make no mistake, you are speaking something into your soul, and those words matter more than you've ever imagined. You are not just thinking, you are programming. You are not just reacting, you are conditioning. You are teaching yourself what to believe and what to expect. So speak life. Speak power into the places where you once felt powerless. Speak courage into the corners of your mind still haunted by doubt. Speak discipline where there used to be delay. Speak love where there used to be shame. Don't wait for someone else to affirm you. Don't wait for circumstances to validate you. Be the voice you've always needed, because when you consistently declare who you are, your brain begins to align with that identity. Your body begins to move differently. Your spirit begins to rise. Say it out loud. I am focused. I am resilient. I am growing. I am becoming. I am not defined by my past. I am not limited by fear. I am not waiting for permission. I am here on purpose. I rise with power. These aren't empty affirmations. They are intentional weapons. They are the antidote to self-doubt, the counterattack to negativity, the reinforcement of truth. Because the world will try to name you. It will try to tell you what you are worth, what you're capable of, what's realistic. But your power lies in naming yourself over and over until there is no space left for fear to narrate your life. You've heard the voice of limitation long enough. You've rehearsed insecurity long enough. You've lived under the weight of silence long enough. Now it's time to speak with clarity, with authority, with love. Words are energy. When spoken with belief, they shift not just your mind, but your momentum. You start building what you speak. You start seeing what you expect. You start attracting the results that match your inner world. That's why mornings matter so much. Your voice, your own voice. must meet you before anyone else's does. It must remind you that you are not random, not lost, not weak. You are learning, you are building, you are showing up even when it's hard, and that matters. Your morning words are not just about motivation. They are about reprogramming the narrative. Too many people wake up and repeat yesterday's doubt, yesterday's failure, yesterday's regret, but every morning is a blank page, and you are the one holding the pen. So don't waste it on defeat. Don't write another day with the ink of shame. Don't speak as if life is something happening to you. Speak as someone who is building it on purpose. Tell yourself the truth, even if your feelings haven't caught up yet. Speak victory, even if the results aren't there yet. Speak progress, even if it's invisible right now. Speak faith, even if your hands are shaking, because speaking life is not about pretending. It's about choosing. It's about choosing to rise above your fear, choosing to fight through your fatigue, choosing to believe in a version of yourself the world hasn't seen yet. But you have, so stand in front of the mirror if you need to. Or close your eyes, or write it down and whisper it into your own soul. But say it. Say the things that scare you because they feel too big. Say the things that stretch you because they feel too true. Say the things that pull you forward because they feel like destiny. Because if you speak it long enough and you live it boldly enough, one day, without realizing it, you'll wake up in a life that reflects what you've always declared. So today, tomorrow, and every day after, speak life, speak power, speak truth, and walk into the world as someone who believes every word. Now that you've woken up, the question isn't what's next. The question is, who will you become from here? You've taken in truth. You've silenced the noise. You've seen the vision. You've spoken the power. But none of it will matter unless you make the one decision that changes everything. Commit, not wish. Not try, not dip your toe in the water. Commit. Commit to becoming the version of you that no longer waits for motivation to act. The version of you that no longer negotiates with fear. The version of you that shows up even when no one is watching. Because your character doesn't need an audience to rise. Becoming isn't about a goal. It's about a way of living, a posture, a decision to stand up day after day and say, I will not let who I was dictate who I can be. I will not shrink to fit the patterns of the past. I will not coast. I will climb. The world doesn't need another person going through the motions. The world needs people who live with fire, with grit, with purpose. People like you. You don't need more time. You don't need permission. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to commit to the next step, and then the next one, and then the one after that. There will be failure. There will be resistance. There will be days you question everything, but commitment is stronger than emotion. It doesn't ask how you feel, it tells you how you move. It says, I'll show up anyway. It says, I'll do it tired. It says, I'll learn from the failure, not flee from it. It says, I won't run from the pressure. I'll be forged by it, because becoming isn't glamorous. It's daily, it's gritty, it's uncomfortable, but it's worth it, and it is within your reach. Not someday, but today. Not when everything aligns, but now, when you decide that the person you're becoming matters more than the person you've been. You've heard enough voices telling you to wait. Now listen to the one that says go. Go, not because you're ready, but because your soul is restless where it is. Go, not because you feel confident, but because the call to grow is louder than your comfort. Go, not because success is guaranteed, but because becoming demands effort, not guarantees. And every day you commit, you reinforce a truth far deeper than discipline or habits. You reinforce this: I was not created to remain. I was created to become, and every morning that truth waits for your agreement. So say it with your actions, say it with your choices, say it with your life. You don't have to move perfectly, just move forward. You don't have to leap, just don't stand still. You don't have to be fearless, just don't let fear make the decisions. This life is not about reaching a destination. It's about honoring the becoming. It's about waking up each day and making it sacred by how you show up. It's about knowing the most powerful transformation doesn't happen in moments of glory. It happens in moments of grit, when no one sees, when no one claps, when it's just you and the mirror deciding again to not give up. So now, this morning, this very moment, you make the vow, I commit to becoming, not because it's easy, not because it's certain, but because it's right, because it's time, because it's me. Now go and become.